what were y'all looking for?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I guess coming into this year, maybe compared to last year, maybe some of the experience questions have been answered compared to a year ago. Is that one thing that maybe is a big difference with your group this year?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. We got a lot of guys that have played in our 2 deep, and we've still had competition across the board, and I do think that we'll continue to nurture the idea of the competition throughout the course of the season. I think that we have the quality of depth at a few positions, and that allow us to do so, and I think it'll bring out the best in everyone. But we feel good about where we're at, both with our returning experience and certainly the experience that we were able to develop last year.
Coach, how far have Mario and Tyler come along in their progression, and do you feel that they're ready to contribute yet?
I mean, we've got to get them ready to contribute, and they've come along. I don't know where exactly on the barometer. They're never anybody is never quite where you want them to be this early, and I think that growth will really take place with experience that they gain, and inevitably some failure that they'll have, as well, just all part of that maturation. But we're not afforded the same depth there that we have at some other positions. So those guys we feel good about what we recruited and who we recruited, and they've both have flashed during the course of fall camp, and excited about the future players that they're going to become.
Sticking with the cornerbacks, what did A.J. Terrell show in fall camp to earn that spot over Mark Fields?
Yeah, he was just very consistent in every part of his game, and just a little bit more consistent. That was really about it. And we feel really good about Mark and where he's at. We've gotten the best version of Mark Fields since he's gotten here this fall camp and spring. Had a good spring. So we're excited about those three guys, and feel like we have three quality starter type guys there.
Health-wise, do you expect Mark to be able to go this weekend?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Brent, no concern about his knee.
Nope.
Brent, on the defensive line, you've had a couple guys move positions. You've had Albert move to the other side of the line, and you've also moved Xavier Kelly interior now at 270 pounds. What gave you the confidence to move Xavier in at that weight, and what made the transition to move Albert over to the other side?
Well, you're really looking at big picture too for Xavier, and he's got really good quickness and a great first step. He's got a tremendous frame. Maybe that 270 is what he's listed at. I bet you if we put him on a scale, he's heavier than that now. But just trying to put him in a position where he could be disruptive, and where we're a little bit short in the numbers this year. We've got some really good depth at defensive end, and to trying to find a way to get him on the field, and whether that's immediate or again in the very near future, trying to develop that. So Albert playing on the other side, he's playing nose and three, either or, and most guys we try to do that. Sometimes with freshmen we don't, but we'd like to play left and right with those tackles if we can.
That front four, they obviously get all the attention. You told us you'd really rather they not get all of it, but did you see anything out of them in fall camp that said they're not 100% focused and ready to go, and did they satisfy you that they're completely dialed in?
Yeah, they have been since they've been here. They've just continued to be who they've been. So they've been good. Taking ownership and accountability and great leadership, and show up every day ready to compete. And I think the big thing for us is not to if they have a bad play or a bad series or a bad day, hey man, they're not perfect, and so I think sometimes we can judge them differently and sometimes unfairly, and so they're like anybody when it comes to that. But they've been great. They've been great.
I think you said a couple weeks ago that Chad Smith was right there, pretty close to the starting group at linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Were you expecting him to have as good a camp as he
breakout, Chad's done well. When Chad's gotten in the games last year in particular, he's done very well, very productive. He's been, for 2 years now, has been a really, really good, strong contributor on special teams, and has really led the way when it comes to production that way as well, along with Skowski. And I just think I think what you've seen with him, again, just maturing within the system and playing confident, and I don't know, breakout is fair. I think that you probably see him maybe earlier in games than maybe in the past, and but we trust him. He's become a really good player and a great leader and a great worker, great teammate. And Judah Davis had a very good fall camp as well, right there with him, and really showed up consistently, in fall camp too.
A lot of players with this experience, you've seen it in games. What are you hoping to learn this Saturday when you guys kick off the season?
Just to play, disciplined and consistent. Along with that, or just you're playing a triple option style of team. You've got to have great eyes and just the discipline that it takes to play at a really high level. Even moving forward, it's not like you don't have to have the same kind of discipline when you're playing, Texas A&M or Georgia Southern or Georgia Tech, Syracuse, so forth. I mean, you got to have it every week. But just to see him again playing against someone else to test those things, you want to see a level of physicality. You want to see a level of intelligence. You want to see the discipline. And then again, they won't play a perfect game. So okay, now what can we learn from it? A year ago, we played Kent State, and you have all the same questions, and we have the same concerns. And you get out of the game. I think they passed it maybe twice in the game, and they tried to run the triple option. They hadn't shown that on tape. We really defended it well. So it surprised us coming out of that game. Wow, we defended that pretty well. And all those snaps we took in fall camp getting ready for them, you felt like it was kind of a waste. But in reality, it wasn't, just because, again, you play football, you got to, and play defense, you got to be able to stop the run and then defend all the play action passes that are off of it. And so, this will be a great test in so many ways, but that'll be a big part of it. And again, moving forward, trying to develop a cohesion, particularly in that secondary, that we're counting on to both support the run and, again, be in position and the discipline it takes to defend the pass. That'll be a big challenge for us that way.
And defensive end depth-wise, how many guys do you feel like are ready to help and play right now?
Oh, probably 6 to 7.
All the guys on the depth chart you feel like are.
I mean, we're gonna play them. Yeah, absolutely. Logan, Justin, Chris was banged up a good part of camp, but Logan and Justin, they both had excellent camps. And again, I've alluded to Xavier and KJ both have made marked improvement, and Xavier brought a level of physicality and explosiveness that you really like. And Richard Jurgen has decided not to play, but so along with Austin and Cleveland, that's a group of guys that you're going to see play.
Brent, how has Skowski progressed since he came back?
Good. Yeah, he's practiced about the last week.
Feel good about him being back there?
Yeah. I haven't given him as many reps, but he's fully cleared. Those foots are a hard thing. You got to be really careful. You see a lot of guys re-break them. And again, I like where we're at linebacker. He's one of the best ones we got, but we got a really good group that's got great experience and terrific intelligence to understand our defense and how we do things. And again, to me, that's what allows you to have a chance to win and play really good defense. And then if you get a guy that's got exceptional skill, maybe he's ultra physical, really fast, anticipates things well, can make a difference. But I really like the group, Wiskowski, but we're still really solid, without him.
You have a couple of freshman linebackers in Jake
Mm-hmm.
and Mike. How valuable
Yeah, that's been the selling point to both of them. Just going through different players that we've had, that have redshirted and have really benefited. They hate it immediately, but again, it really pays off 3-4 years down the road to be able to develop, emotionally, physically, mentally, all those things. So I think it's very valuable when you can do that. And to me, they have to make you play them with the kind of depth that we have. Again, a guy like Xavier Thomas, the things that he has shown, it's like, well, you can't redshirt that guy. And but the players usually know whether or not they're ready to, and they'll both be the first ones to tell you that they'll benefit greatly from it.
Brent, what's it been like? Having Jake around at camp, and has there been anything surprising to you, either as a dad or as a coach?
It's been great for me. It's been fun to just watch him watch us, and send him out there every once in a while, and let him run around and have some confidence about him. He's really been one of the better ones we've had, just as far as coming in summer and really being able to pick up what we do. And I've been really impressed with him. I made that remark. I'm not just, and that's the thing. You're like, listen, you know me as dad, but I don't give a lot of guys a lot of praise. So if I tell you did a good job, you must have done something. And so I've praised him a couple different times just on his knowledge base and his ability to go out and execute and play fast. So he's he's done well. But it's been a lot of fun.
Brent, tagging on that development question, what about a player like Shaq Smith? This is his third year in the program.
Yeah.
Where's he at right now?
Yeah, I think he's in English. Not sure which English class. But he's done really well. I've said it in fall camp, and he's had a good fall. And excited for Shaq. He's put a lot of work in, and I don't like saying, well, this guy's set up to be a breakout. It's not my favorite word, because I don't know what that means. Now, if you look back after the season and they had this unbelievable season that came out of nowhere, I understand, but I don't like to try to predict, other than I do know he'll contribute a lot more than he has, and that's due because he's earned it. And he's playing faster, he's playing more physical, he's playing more sure of himself, and he still has more growth to come. And I think that will happen as well through experience.
Have you made a decision on all the red shirts, or there's still some guys that you're still kind of?
No, yeah, we haven't completely, but we're a lot closer than we were 3 weeks ago.
Coach, with guys like Jake and Mike,
Mm-hmm.
who will redshirt, and also guys that are kind of on the bubble, how much will the new redshirt rule just help to kind of keep those guys stay engaged, knowing that they can get some valuable playing time later in the season?
Yeah, I think what it does is it makes it harder on us, to be honest with you, to try to, because you want them in power hour. Well, power hour, they work out during our meeting time. So that's part of the development. You send them down to the weight room and let Batson, go to work. And then they're on the scout team, you gain experience there, but they're not in the game plan. But now you got to figure out, okay, they got to know the game plan. You put them in there. You don't want them to go in there and stink to join up. You want to be able to go out and execute. And just when they feel like they understand what we're doing on defense, and we come up with an option defense that's completely different than what they've been learning for 3 weeks, and so that it's hard to figure all that out, from our side of it, but it's going to benefit them, greatly, and I do think that from a mental standpoint, I think they'll stay a little bit more engaged than they normally would, and we're trying to do some things, structure practice in a certain way, so that they can continue to work and grow within our schemes, get them reps. Mm-hmm.
You talked about Jake, but Tyler had 6 touchdowns last week for Daniel. How gratifying is that for you to see him?
Oh, it's good. I'm happy for their team. And I think he'll be the first one to tell you he's benefiting from a new system that they brought from Coach Wofford has brought from Northwestern High School that is very user friendly, and I think that they've got good skill. They're using them and coaching them up the right way. So I think he'll be the first one to tell you that they're playing well as an offense and got good system and good cohesion, chemistry. So I told him, you're a week away from humility, brother. So if I'm facing a quarterback just scored 6 touchdowns, and again, we're going to devise a game plan that says we're going to cut the head off that snake. You're going to beat us some other way. So I told him that it's not always going to happen that way. So you better get used to that.
We were wondering if while you're watching that and after the game, if you said to him, I would have come up with this scheme.
No, I gotta be careful about that. He expects me to, but every once in a while I gotta give him a little love. So.
They're both pretty versatile guys, but what kind of similarities and differences do you see between Isaiah Simmons and Dorian O'Daniel?
Fast, very athletic, love to play, very aggressive. Those are all, I think are all similar traits that they have, and have the chance to be disruptive and hard to block, freaky skill set.
Is there anything that maybe one does that the other?
Well, I mean, again, the Dorian you're talking about is the same one I'm talking about, and that's that Dorian that had this incredibly dominant senior year, and so I don't from that standpoint I don't know whether or not that's fair, to Isaiah, but Isaiah just needs to play. He's not polished in any way. He's made marked improvements since since we moved him over there. We are still working him at safety as well, and I do think he has a chance to be an awfully good player. He's not yet, but what I love about him is he's got great humility, tremendous work ethic. He's eager to learn. He's got a sponge mentality, and again, he's got a great disposition. He likes to have fun out on the field, but still have focus to him. And so he's growing up and has been, since making the move, and is starting to mature and understand the level of consistency that's really important, and the focus that you got to bring every day to practice. So he's learning those things right now, and that we don't have time. I'll put somebody else out there that I know is going to execute exactly what we want. And you can protect guys too. Not everybody has the same skill set, so you find ways to protect guys if they need it. And but I'm excited about Isaiah, and I think that when he figures it all out, he has a chance to be a really, really good player for us.
He's kind of separated himself physically. Where has he impressed you? Where does he have to get better in order to kind of move up and earn more playing time?
Yeah, well, just knowing what to do, playing with the techniques within the scheme, based on the call, based on the formation, all the pre-snap things, the awareness. Again, that comes from seeing it more, playing, but the techniques that that are involved. If you're supposed to come under the block, you got to come under them every single time. It's non-negotiable, as opposed to running around them. And I don't care if you're quick enough to do it or not. So just playing, with discipline within the confines of the defense, and then again, just being able to play fast by, getting the call and lining up correctly and putting your eyes in the right place. All the stuff that any player at every position goes through. But you got to play consistent. You got to know what to do, but he's made improvement in those areas, and I would expect we'll continue to do so. But where he's got to challenge himself every day, even though you're not taking starter snaps every day, you got to challenge yourself every day to approach it like you're the starter, and like those two guys in front of you are going to get beat or are going to get hurt, and you got to play every snap now, and that takes a certain level of maturity, to do so. So he's been good though. He's had a great attitude and comes ready to work and does have the humility, as opposed to the guy that thinks that I should be playing and why aren't you playing me, and even though you haven't earned anything yet. And he's been wonderful to coach from that standpoint.
One of the other players said he has the quickest first step he's seen.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you've seen?
I mean, quickest first step that I've seen belongs to Beasley. But Xavier's got a good get off, but I'd rather him just do whatever he's supposed to do, than worry about that get off. But he is disruptive, and he's got, again, a really good skill set and a lot of natural instincts to play the game.
Kayvon Wallace showed a lot of versatility last season, moving around the defensive backfield. Do you see him finding a spot to settle down in this year, or will you continue?
Well, we did. I mean, he's our starting strong safety, and he does have the capability, and we did work him, at both corner and at nickelback during the course of spring and summer. But he's our starter there at strong safety.
Health-wise, everybody got through pretty good. Do you expect everybody to be okay for this weekend?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah. Mark's back, and Register's back. Jurgen's not playing. So, yep. Good. All right.